Hello, everyone. Welcome back to today's story. In this episode, we follow Alex and Tuna as they face one of the hardest challenges in their love story, convincing Alex's mother to accept their relationship. With hearts full of hope, they step into a world divided by class, expectation, and pride. From the quiet fields of the farm to the elegant dining table of Alex's family home, every glance and every word becomes a test of sincerity. What begins as a tense and uncertain meeting soon unfolds into a heartfelt journey of courage, honesty, and compassion. Stay with us until the end to see how Alex's mother's heart slowly begins to soften. And don't forget to subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Your support truly means the world to us. The afternoon sun filters through the orchard, its golden light catching on the ripened grapefruits as a gentle wind sways the leaves. Tuna stands beside Alex, her fingers nervously tracing the edge of her apron. The air feels heavier than usual, charged with unspoken worries. Alex reaches for her hand, his voice calm but firm. "Tuna, I want to take you to meet my mother," he says. His tone carries a mix of excitement and determination. But Tuna's heart tightens. She looks down, her voice barely above a whisper. "Alex, what if she doesn't like me?" The thought alone makes her chest ache. "I'm not from your world. I don't have wealth or status. I just have Henry and this little farm." Alex gently tilts her chin, forcing her to meet his eyes. "That's exactly why she'll love you," he insists. "You're kind, hardworking, and real. She'll see that, just like I did." But deep down, Tuna isn't sure. The difference between them feels vast, like a river she's unsure how to cross. She forces a small smile, but her mind races with images of a stern woman in elegant clothes, looking at her with quiet disapproval. As the wind picks up, she hears Henry's laughter from inside. For a moment, her worries soften. Alex smiles at the sound too, his expression tender. "We'll be fine," he says, brushing her hair from her face. "Trust me." Later that evening, after Alex leaves for work, Tuna rocks Henry to sleep. The child's breathing is soft and steady, and she gazes at him with love so pure it hurts. "I just want you to have a peaceful life," she murmurs, touching his tiny hand. "No matter what happens tomorrow." The moon rises high, silver light spilling over the vegetable beds and the old wooden fence. Everything feels still, yet inside Tuna's heart, an invisible storm brews. She knows tomorrow could change everything. The next morning, Alex wakes early, nervous energy coursing through him. He chooses a simple shirt, one his mother bought years ago, hoping the familiarity might ease what's to come. His mother, Mrs. Lan, is already in the kitchen, arranging breakfast, steamed buns, tea, and a small plate of fruit. "Morning, Mom," he greets, trying to sound casual. "Morning," she replies, her eyes studying him. "You seem unusually cheerful today. Something good happened at the farm?" Alex hesitates. "Actually, I was hoping to talk to you about something important." Mrs. Lan sets the teapot down, her intuition kicking in. "Important?" she repeats, raising a brow. That tone usually means trouble. He chuckles nervously, rubbing the back of his neck. "No trouble. It's about someone." The moment stretches. Mrs. Lan's hand still. "Someone?" "Yes," Alex says softly. "Her name is Tuna. She's the woman I love." The words hang in the air, trembling like leaves in the wind. Mrs. Land's expression falters. Tuna? She repeats, recognition dawning. Isn't she the single mother who lives by the old riverbank? Yes, he answers, his voice firm. She's hardworking, Mom. She's been through a lot, but she never gave up. I admire her. Mrs. Lon exhales slowly, her face unreadable. Admiration is one thing, Alex. Building a future is another. You come from different worlds. Her life is full of burdens. How will that affect yours? Alex leans forward, desperation flickering in his eyes. Mom, I know you're worried, but she's not a burden. She's my peace. She understands me in a way no one else ever has. Mrs. Lon studies her son, her heart tightening. His conviction reminds her of his father, stubborn and idealistic. Love can blind you, Alex, she says quietly. You think with your heart now, but one day reality will demand more than affection. Then let reality come, Alex counters. I'll face it with her. The kitchen falls silent. Steam rises from the teapot, curling into the cool morning air. Mrs. Lon gazes out the window for a long moment before replying, her voice softer. Bring her here. I'll meet her myself. Alex's face lights up. Really? Yes, she sighs, though a shadow crosses her eyes. But understand this. I only want what's best for you. I'll judge with my own eyes. Later that afternoon, Alex and Tuna stand before the grand wooden gate of his family home. Tuna clutches her woven handbag tightly, her palms damp with sweat. The house looms ahead, elegant, spacious, filled with the quiet authority of generations. Alex, she murmurs, hesitating. Maybe this isn't a good idea. He squeezes her hand. It'll be fine. Just be yourself. That's all I want. She takes a deep breath, adjusting her hair as they step inside. The scent of jasmine tea fills the air. Mrs. Lon sits at the table, her posture straight, eyes sharp but calm. Mother, Alex greets warmly. This is Tuna. Tuna bows slightly. Hello, Mrs. Lon. It's an honor to meet you. Her voice trembles, but her smile is sincere. Mrs. Lon's gaze sweeps over her. Her simple dress, her gentle demeanor, the faint calluses on her hands. You're the woman my son speaks so highly of, she says, tone polite but distant. Yes, ma'am. Tuna replies softly. I'm very grateful to Alex. He's been kind to me and my son. Your son, Mrs. Lon repeats. You're a mother then? Yes, Tuna says, pride flickering in her voice despite her nerves. His name is Henry. He's 2 years old. Mrs. Lon's expression doesn't change, but her silence carries weight. The air thickens with unspoken thoughts. Alex senses it and jumps in quickly. Mom, Tuna's raising Henry alone. She works hard every day to provide for him. Mrs. Lon's eyes shift to her son. And you think that's easy, Alex? Taking responsibility for another woman's child? Alex's tone hardens. It's not about easy, Mom. It's about love. Tuna's eyes glisten. She steps forward slightly. I understand your worries, Mrs. Lon. I know I'm not from a wealthy family, and my life has been messy. But I truly love Alex. I never wanted to cause trouble. Mrs. Lon looks at her, really looks. And for a brief moment, something soft flickers behind her stern eyes. There's sincerity in Tuna's voice that feels undeniable. Sit down, Mrs. Lon finally says, her tone mellowing just enough. "Let's talk." They sit around the table, tea poured into delicate cups. The conversation begins stiffly, with polite exchanges about the farm, the harvest, and village life. But as time passes, Mrs. Lon starts to see pieces of Tuna's character. The quiet strength, the humility, the way she speaks of Alex with deep respect. Yet, beneath the calm surface, Mrs. Lon's thoughts remain conflicted. She sees her son's happiness, yes, but she also sees the weight of the path he's choosing. As the sun sets outside, light filtering through the window, Mrs. Lon sets her teacup down with a soft clink. "Tuna," she says, her tone measured. "Love is powerful, but it's not always enough. It takes sacrifice, patience, and resilience. Are you ready for that?" Tuna meets her gaze, her voice steady. "I already live that every day." The answer lingers in the air, honest and raw. Mrs. Lon says nothing more, but the faintest nod escapes her, a silent acknowledgement of the woman before her. Outside, Alex exhales quietly, his heart finally beginning to hope. Dinner unfolds under a veil of polite quietness, broken only by the occasional clinking of chopsticks against bowls. The table is filled with simple but elegant dishes: steamed fish, sautéed greens, tofu in ginger sauce. Tuna sits stiffly, her every movement careful, her smile gentle yet uncertain. Across from her, Mrs. Lon eats slowly, her eyes thoughtful as she watches the young woman who might soon become part of her family. Alex tries to ease the tension with small talk. "Mom, Tuna's been managing the vegetable garden near the river. She's even started growing organic produce to sell in the village market." "That so?" Mrs. Lon asks, glancing briefly at Tuna. "Running a small business takes dedication." Tuna nods. "Yes, ma'am. It's hard work, but it helps me provide for my son. I want to build something stable for him." Her tone is soft, sincere, her words carrying the quiet pride of someone who has fought for every small victory. Mrs. Lon listens, her face unreadable. "You sound like a strong woman." "But strength isn't always enough, dear. Life with Alex won't be simple. He's building a future that demands time, energy, and a clear mind. I wouldn't want emotions to cloud his path." Alex sets down his chopsticks, his tone firm but respectful. "Mom, this isn't about distraction. Tuna is part of my path. She's helped me understand what matters most." Mrs. Lon exhales, setting down her bowl. "And what is that, Alex?" He meets her eyes. "Family, purpose, love that doesn't depend on wealth or status." The room stills. For a moment, the candle flickers between them, its flame bending under the tension. Tuna lowers her gaze. "Mrs. Lon," she begins softly, "I don't expect anything from Alex, just his honesty and kindness. I don't want to take him away from his dreams. I only hope to walk beside him, even if quietly." Her humility touches something deep within Mrs. Lon. Still, her mother's instinct resists. She stands slowly, walking toward the window, where the faint moonlight glows. "You remind me of someone," she murmurs. "Years ago, I was like you, young, full of love, thinking I could fight the world for it. But love alone didn't save me from hardship. It's wisdom that keeps a family standing." Alex rises too, stepping beside her. "Then teach us that wisdom, Mom," he says gently. "Don't shut us out. Help us build something right." Mrs. Lon turns, meeting his earnest gaze. She sees the same stubborn fire that once burned in his late father's eyes, the same unyielding will that frightened and inspired her in equal measure. "You're your father's son," she whispers, emotion thickening her voice. He would have said the same thing. Tuna stands quietly behind them, unsure if she's intruding on a sacred memory. Her heart pounds, torn between gratitude and guilt for stirring such emotion in this home. When the meal ends, Mrs. Lon offers to pour tea. The air softens, the storm between them momentarily calmed. Tuna helps gather the dishes, moving gracefully around the kitchen. "Please, let me wash these," she says. "You've done so much already." Mrs. Lon watches silently as Tuna rolls up her sleeves and begins cleaning the dishes, her movements steady and efficient. There's no pretense, just quiet diligence. Something about the way she handles even the smallest tasks with care stirs a quiet respect in Mrs. Land's heart. "Where did you learn to cook like that?" she asks suddenly, watching as Tuna dries the last bowl. Tuna smiles, shy but proud. "From my mother. She passed away when I was little, but I remember watching her make every meal count, even when we had almost nothing." Mrs. Lon nods slowly, her gaze softening. "That kind of memory stays with you forever." Tuna turns toward her, hesitant but honest. "Yes, ma'am. And now, every time I cook, I think of how she made people feel loved through food. That's what I want Henry to feel too." The older woman's eyes waver for a moment. She looks away, pretending to arrange the teacups. "You have a good heart, Tuna," she admits quietly. "But a mother's heart doesn't just worry about goodness. It worries about the storms life can bring." "I understand," Tuna replies, her voice trembling slightly. "And if those storms come, I'll face them with Alex. I've faced worse alone." That last line lingers in the air. Mrs. Lon looks at her again, really looks, and something inside her begins to yield. The walls she built from fear and class and worry start to crumble, piece by piece. Later that night, as the house quiets and the moon hangs high, Mrs. Land sits alone on the veranda. The air is cool, fragrant with night jasmine. Alex steps out quietly, 2 cups of warm tea in hand. "You're still awake?" he asks softly. She smiles faintly. "Couldn't sleep. My mind's full." He sits beside her, offering one of the cups. For a while, they say nothing, just the soft chirping of crickets filling the silence. Finally, Mrs. Lon speaks. "Your father and I built this house with our bare hands. Every brick, every tile. It represents years of effort, sacrifice. I've always dreamed of seeing you build something just as strong." "I will, Mom," Alex says gently, "and Tuna will help me do that." Mrs. Lon turns her eyes toward him. "You really love her, don't you?" "With everything I am," he answers without hesitation. Her lips press together. "Then promise me something, Alex. If you're going to walk this road, do it wisely. Don't let love blind you to the responsibilities that come with it." He nods solemnly. "I promise." Mrs. Lon exhales, her shoulders finally relaxing. "Then bring her again next Sunday. I'd like to see her. And Henry, too." Alex's eyes light up. "You mean it?" She smiles. Faint but genuine. "If I'm to judge fairly, I should know them both." He laughs quietly, a weight lifting from his chest. "Thank you, Mom. You'll see. Tuna's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Mrs. Lon gazes at the moon, its pale light reflecting in her eyes. I hope so, son. I truly hope so. The next morning, Tuna wakes early, sunlight spilling through the curtains. Her heart still trembles from last night's meeting, torn between hope and fear. As she prepares breakfast for Henry, her phone buzzes. A message from Alex. She wants to see you both again next Sunday. She said she wants to know you better. Tuna's breath catches. For a moment, she just stares at the screen, tears blurring her vision. Then a smile breaks across her face, small and disbelieving. Henry toddles toward her, tugging at her skirt. Mama? She lifts him into her arms, kissing his forehead. Mama's just happy, baby, she whispers. We're one step closer. Outside, the morning breeze rustles through the garden. The world feels softer, brighter, like the first light after a long storm.